Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of MCU Rewatch. In this episode, we're going to be rewatching Captain America and the First Avenger. You guys might be wondering, where are the rewatches for The Incredible Hulk and Thor? Well, those two movies I literally cannot sit down and watch, along with Thor Dark World. So I made the executive decision to not watch those three movies, and those will be my three skips for the entirety of the rewatch. Like I said before, in this video we're going to be rewatching Captain America and the First Avenger, and then comes the Avengers movie, then Iron Man 3, and then I'm going to be skipping Thor Dark World, obviously, and then Captain America Winter Soldier, and after that I really have no movies that I want to skip. So again, I do apologize for that, but without wasting any more time, let's go right into it, rewatching Captain America and the First Avenger.
This one's waited long enough.
I definitely noticed that the movies before Disney acquired Marvel are a little bit more brutal in the sense that they're not afraid to just kill random people and actually show them dead. And it's not like it's super gory or anything like that. It's just crazy to see dead people in a Marvel movie because they usually don't show that kind of stuff.
You really gonna do this again?
Well, it's a fair. I'm gonna try my luck.
As who, Steve from Ohio?
I'll also say that Chris Evans' voice does not match the small, scrawny body. You see what I mean? It just looks odd. It's not bad CGI. It's pretty good effects. It just looks weird.
Get away! Get back!
Honestly, I think that grenade scene is like the perfect encapsulation of who Steve Rogers is. He'll put his life on the line, he'll put his body on his line, he'll put everything on the line for the people around him. And I think that's why he deserved the ending he had in Endgame, is because he finally got to live a life of his own instead of trying to protect others. I think that grenade scene kind of captures it perfectly, to be honest.
You disapprove.
I just don't see why you need to concern yourself. I can't imagine he'll succeed. Again.
His serum is the Allies' only defense against this power we now possess. If we take it away from them, then our victory is assured.
Alright, I'm not gonna lie, the score is kind of fire. It fits like the war vibes, but also like super highly anticipated like orchestra music.
Yeah. I think we did it. You actually did it.
How'd you feel?
Taller.
You look taller.
Sheesh.
Go get him! I can swim!
Alright, so that first scene, like the chase scene where they kind of show how he's like using his powers, not really like in the, like not in the open, but he's still learning all of it. I think that's pretty cool. I thought that was a cool way of showing his powers at first, like his jumping, his strength, all that kind of stuff. And it's a good way to implement it into the movie slowly instead of just him figuring it all out at once. He's actually learning it while in the moment, which is pretty cool to see. The amount of military propaganda in this movie is absolutely insane. I knew there was a lot, but I still find it hilarious how often they're trying to make the military seem like a super awesome place, especially the beginning of this movie. I know later in the movie it gets a lot more serious and more intense, and right now they're using Captain America as more of a joke, but still, it's kind of funny to me.
You got no idea.
those, do you?
You are deluded, Captain.
I forgot how crazy, creepy, and awesome Red Skull looks. Honestly, I don't really know why people don't really like this movie. I think it's pretty fun. I have about 56 minutes left in the movie. I'm gonna keep updating you guys as I'm watching, but honestly, as of now, I don't really see it as being a basic MCU movie like I used to think it was, and I think it's actually pretty good.
We're bugs on a windshield. Mind the gap.
Better get moving, Bugs.
The story development for Steve Rogers, Captain America in the army, and how he like goes into the army and how he meshes with everyone in there is also really well done.
Grab my hand.
Okay, I know movie magic, Marvel magic, whatever, but how did Bucky Barnes survive that fall again? Because I don't remember, I'm gonna be honest. I swear to God, this man has the most pimped out bike possible. Alright, I'm not gonna lie, this entire final battle, like final sequence type of thing, is kind of lame. The final battle just feels super anticlimactic, especially since we had no real connection with Red Skull. But this final scene where he's putting the plane into the water and then he goes into the ice is super emotional because we have that connection with Peggy and Steve. And we've seen their relationship progress throughout the entirety of the movie.
You're gonna need a rain check on that dance. You know, I still don't know how to dance.
I'll show you how. Just be there.
We'll have the band play something slow. I take a step on your...
Like I said before, way more emotional than I remember it being because we actually had a genuine connection between Peggy and Steve.
Hey, soldier.
Yo, okay, I'm not gonna lie. I completely forgot that Steve wakes up in this at the end of this movie. I thought that he wakes up in Avengers for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe I'm just stupid. They also show the boxing scene from Avengers in the end of this movie as a post-credit scene. And then they cut to a teaser trailer for Avengers, which I completely forgot happened.
You think you're the only hero in the world? Gentlemen, you're up.
What do you mean swing?
Alright guys, so I just finished watching Captain America in the First Avenger. I thought this movie was a great introduction for the character of Captain America into the MCU in general. I'd definitely say there was a lot of action in the movie, but I valued more of the slow moments because it helped us build the character of Steve Rogers, as he is not only just an action hero, but he is also an emotional character. We have emotional subplots with not only Peggy, but also his other army comrades, and these slow moments are what help us actually connect with Steve and make the losses in the movie feel like they're even greater parts of the movie than they actually are. Speaking of Peggy and just emotions in general, the dynamic between Peggy and Steve was off the charts. I loved it so much, and it actually made me have a deeper emotional connection to when Steve died. Moving on to the villain, I thought Red Skull was a pretty good villain. I just felt like they undermined him once again. They did this in Iron Man 1 and Iron Man 2. They just focused on the wrong elements. This movie was already fairly long as is. It was about 2 hours in runtime, so I don't really know where they would have fit in talking more about Red Skull and giving us more of a connection to Red Skull. And in the beginning, he was set up to be super impactful, but never actually ended up fulfilling to that level that they set him up to be at. My favorite thing about Red Skull is that he's not an exact opposite of Captain America, whereas a lot of newer villains in the MCU are more or less just opposites of the character, where the character has to evolve, which is cool because in that moment we get to see the character evolve. But during the final battle, it always just feels anticlimactic. That wasn't the case in this movie. The final battle was anticlimactic, but the opposite feeling just wasn't there. They felt like two completely separate characters, whereas for example Yellow Jacket and Ant-Man, they felt like two similar characters. Same thing with Killmonger and Black Panther, same thing with Wanda and Agatha in WandaVision. It's just a formula that Marvel has created. It works a lot of times, but in this movie it didn't feel like they replicated it, and I actually like that a lot because it gives us so much more depth about Steve Rogers. Bucky Barnes also didn't have nearly as big of an impact as I remember. I remember him as being more of a core and integral part of the movie, but I think that I was mixing up Peggy and Bucky's role. So I'm glad I rewatched it, and I'm still excited to see how Bucky comes back, because honestly I don't remember how Bucky comes back. That fall looked like it was pretty far down. Also, the Nazi narrative that we got in this movie was something that I really loved, and I doubt we'd see anything even related to Nazi kind of stuff in superhero movies nowadays. I liked the use of blood and death in this movie. It wasn't anything too crazy. There was still a lot of death scenes where we got to see the dead bodies of people. Same thing with blood. We got to see a decent amount of blood, but it wasn't anything overpowering. And that's something that you notice in a lot of these Paramount movies, basically before Marvel got bought out by Disney, which I'm not saying is a bad thing. Marvel movies have still been phenomenal even without the blood and gore. I'm just saying it was cool to see these little aspects in the movies. And finally, I want to talk about the action. The action was definitely some top tier Marvel action. It's way better than I remember it being. There's actually a lot more hand-to-hand combat in this movie than I remember. And there's a lot less shield action, which honestly I kind of enjoy because I personally like hand-to-hand combat a lot more. It was either hand-to-hand combat or a mix of hand-to-hand, gun, and shield. There wasn't too much of just him using the shield alone like he did in the Avengers movie. But overall, I thought the action was awesome in this movie. And yeah guys, that was my rewatch of Captain America and the First Avenger. Next episode, we're going to be rewatching the Avengers movie. I can't wait to rewatch it, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure that subscribe button and turn notifications on so you don't miss any time I upload a new video or I go live. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace.